Alright, so today on Rob and Roxy, we're going to take this Roadshock 3-inch LED headlight, off-road light from Harbor Freight and mount it into our new Polaris. A friend of mine was kind enough to roll this thing down a huge hill and donate it to me for the cost of putting 2 wheel bearings and 2 universal joints in his Jeep. So everything was relatively intact, minus the handlebars and brake lever and throttle assembly, and the frame and foot peg were tweaked over here, so now I had to straighten them. But all the pieces are generally there. The rear rack is trashed, but so come to the headlight after I get it all back together, and there is no headlight whatsoever, nothing to speak of. The mounts are gone, the headlight's gone. And I'm not trying to spend a bunch of money putting an old quad together. If I wanted a brand new quad, I'd go buy one. Instead, we got this $21 or $23 LED headlight to replace it. So there is nothing really to bolt it to. You have your headlight pod mount, which is just a simple piece of sheet metal bracket, and the steering mount up top. So we're going to go ahead and take this old grill door that somebody was kind enough to throw out to donate me some stainless sheet metal, and we're going to make a new headlight assembly for this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and hack out a piece of this stainless, and I went ahead and measured it with the headlight pod on, and you can't tell now, but you know, I needed whatever, 5 inches from the bottom out, and then 5 or 6 inches, I got it wrote down, and then so much back to the steering shaft. And we're going to make a sheet metal hoop to cover this hole, since this hole is a lot larger than our 3-inch square headlight. And we're going to go ahead and put it together. So I'm going to take the gooseneck bracket, lay it on here, and drill me out 4 holes, and cut a swipe out of a piece of door here, and bend me a new headlight bezel for our hopefully new good headlight. Alright, so here's our piece that's going to go in there. Now, I intended this to be a one-piece design and not have any pop rivets in the face of it, but in all actuality, when I was trying to fit it into the headlight pod, it turned out to be quite a pain getting it to bend all up and around and have a flat face that fit in there nice. And so I ended up cutting the bottom piece out right up to the headlight pod, the bottom of the headlight pod, and then I cut the faceplate out, and then I cut the top bracket with the holes in it. This was part of the original piece that I made. And then I went ahead and installed the bracket and everything, and cut out for it, and it fits in there really nice. But when you put it on the bracket and put it in, it does not sit level like that. The headlight pod is at a rolled angle like that. So when it's sitting flush with the face of the new headlight bezel, it's pointing way up in the air. So in order to correct this, since it isn't flat, I have to trim up the bracket a little bit. I don't know where it's at. Oh, there it is. So I need to trim this up 3/4 of an inch, because it's in tight confines to keep the headlight in the center. I can't move it up or down. So it was sitting, if I can, hold on, let me put you down here for a second. Get you out of the sunlight. Alright, so With this sitting like this, and the headlight pointing up, it fit in there nice. But when you rolled it down to actually point at the ground, it was sitting like this. It was sitting way back, recessed in. It still worked, everything was good, but I want to move it so it's sitting out a little bit like that. So I have to shorten up this bracket a little bit, and I need to move my mounting hole forward. I went ahead and marked it there. I went ahead and marked it here. So now I'm going to move over to the drill press, drill a couple holes, and whack this bracket down. Alright, so I went ahead and made a little bridge on the drill press so I can set my pieces in here and get a flat drill. That just isn't high enough. Raise it up just a hair. Alright, so I'm going to goober a little bit of oil on here. And drill our new mounting hole. Alright, so we got our new forward mount location. Now we need to drill out the bracket. Again, a little bit of oil, a little bit of Earl, some Earl on there. I went ahead and measured them and center punched them before I started, so I knew right where to sink the bit. Don't do that. That's where you're supposed to have stuff fastened down. Oh, come on. Don't give me issues now. So I'm going to get my pieces and head back over. Try to mount them up. Alright, so I went ahead and put it all back together. Got our headlight fitted in there. Turn the key on. And your low beams. You can barely see them. High beam. Night and day difference. Look how blinding white that light is. Let's see your low beams. Now let's see your high beam. That's one hell of a difference. I like it. So, there is a $23 headlight for you from Harbor Freight. Hopefully it lasts a while. It's LED, it should, but you never know.